Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the DC Comics Multiverse Dawn of Justice Superman figure. Now this is basically in the same lines as like the DC Universe Classics or the Movie Masters, because those tend to kind of mesh together. So this is mostly the same Superman that we got actually with the Superman movie not too long ago. Mostly the same, obviously some differences though. So we're going to run through it and you guys can take a look and we'll see if it's actually any good. He stands roughly 16.5 centimeters, which makes him just about 6.5 inches. So he's definitely in scale with like your DC Universe Classics if you want to put him with those, or he'll fit in with the Movie Masters just fine. He's got a very nice metallic blue molded plastic / paint job. Looks nice. There is some variation in it. You can see at the wrists, the wrist details are more of a silvery blue, slightly lighter. Same thing for the waist. It's not all one color, so that's pretty cool. You can see we have some gold mixed in there. And the S logo on the chest, obviously, is fairly well painted. Not too bad. The boots have some paintwork on them, so you can see the brighter red up against the darker red. And you probably noticed that the entire thing is textured, which they did a pretty good job. I mean, obviously it was digitally sculpted, but it still looks really good. The anatomy is actually pretty darn good. The only thing that's off for me for the anatomy is the biceps. They're way too high up and way too short in relation to like the elbow and forearms. It's not a huge deal, but it's something that kind of stands out, and it's even worse for Batman, so it is noticeable. The head sculpt doesn't look that much like Henry Cavill. I think maybe a better paint job would help it, but it's not inherently bad. It just doesn't look that much like the actor. So if you don't care about that, then it's not a problem. If you want it to look just like him, then it's not that great. But it's not a bad sculpt on its own. It's just not too much like him. The paint job for the eyes and everything, it's okay. It's a little flat. There's no shading in the hair, but it looks not bad. And he does have some paintwork on the lips, so that's it's not bad. It's much better than I thought. I was expecting them to be a little bit more kind of half-assed, and they did a pretty good job. The one thing that bugs me the most about this guy, though, is the cape. The way it folds in on his legs like that, it's very aesthetically displeasing. It's just really not good. There's no way around it, so that's problematic. Otherwise, though, it's pretty good. So let's run through the articulation. The head is on a ball peg, so it can look up and down. Not a whole lot, but enough. And then, of course, you can look side to side. And at some angles, it does look more like him, so you could probably play with it and get it to not look too bad. Shoulders are on our classic ball hinge. Pretty good range of motion, no real issues there. Bicep swivel, single jointed elbow, which does give you 90 degrees, so it's not horrible, but it's not good, and it's not the best looking joint in the world. It stands out the way they kind of sculpted around it rather than sculpting with it. Like the forearm muscle should have gone higher up and the bicep should have gone higher down, and they could have hidden it much better, but it's not terrible. And then we have a swivel for the wrists, no ab crunch, nice sculpt work, but no ab crunch. Waist twist, standard DCUC style hips, which give him decent range of motion. It's not the best in the world, but it's not bad, so I'm okay with that. He can do the splits pretty well, and while it's not the best looking crotch hip area, again, it's not horrible, so I think it's acceptable, especially if you collect DCUC or Movie Masters figures. You're going to be used to it. Thigh swivel, single jointed knee, not quite 90 degrees, but enough to put him in a decent flight pose if you wanted to, and I'll have some poses at the end so you can see, but he's not going to look too bad. And then lastly, we have our ankle joint, which is pretty standard, decent range of motion, nothing fancy. It's not bad. So overall, it's like kind of an acceptable figure. It's not particularly good, but it doesn't make me upset. So I'm going to say I recommend it. It's, recommended with caution, I guess. It's not great, but it's okay, and it'll look nice on the shelf, so I'm going to say go for it. It's not too bad at all. These should be in stock at Big Bad Toy Store pretty soon, so if you want to click the link in the description, you can pre-order yourself some. I actually posted a link on Facebook just the other day also. So there's Superman. If you want a quick look, here he is up against Batman. Batman will be getting his own review very soon. They're very close in size. And then, of course, the cool Batman. Again, very close in size. So there it is, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can see my upcoming figure reviews, custom figures, and other good stuff. And in the meantime, keep collecting.